Today on the channel, we're taking a look at the Hyperbase Launchbox Lite, a 500 gig retro gaming emulation console. This device offers a different approach to retro gaming than what I've looked at on the channel before. This is not a retro handheld, but rather a simple hard drive with a front end and a bunch of pre-configured emulators that offer a plug-and-play solution to getting up and running with retro gaming. If you're on a budget and looking for a cost-effective way to get into retro gaming, then this might be something you want to take a look at. All that is required is an existing Windows laptop or desktop and perhaps a Bluetooth controller. And just like that, you have an awesome solution for the budget-conscious retro gamer. I think this can also be useful for someone who doesn't have the patience or time or knowledge to get this up and running and configured themselves. Because yes, this is something you can do yourself with the right knowledge and lots of time. Before we get started, I just wanted to say that this was sent over to me by the manufacturer, and a big thank you to them for doing so. Even though this was sent over to me free of charge, there was no expectation from them or influence on the review. Also, they have not seen this review video before it was posted. Now let's take a closer look at the Hyperbase Launchbox Lite, shall we? There's not much to the device unboxing experience, to be honest. In the unbranded box, you are getting an equally unbranded enclosure containing a Western Digital 500 gig hard drive and a USB cable. Now the drive is from a recognizable brand, so you do not have to worry about losing your collection due to some corrupt data or unexpected drive failure. That's because Western Digital is known for manufacturing some decent quality drives. On the drive itself, you're getting a large gaming collection featuring over 3,700 ROMs. The collection covers a wide range of systems including NES, Genesis, Super NES, PlayStation 1 through 3, GameCube, Dreamcast, Wii, and Wii U. Additionally, a selection of modern titles from platforms like the PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and Windows PC games are included. I would suggest these be deleted, as copies of these games can be easily bought through popular digital and retail sellers, and really they do not belong in a retro collection. Also, doing so will free up a bunch of hard drive space for you, which you will need to pad out this retro collection in the future. So Launchbox, a popular gaming front end, is used to organize and access the collection. I found it really intuitive to navigate and search and launch any of the games on here, and I think it was a good choice by the manufacturer to go with this front end. For emulation itself, RetroArch serves as the primary backbone. It has been pre-configured with all the BIOS files and cores, ensuring everything just works right off the bat. There are also a few standalone emulators on here, such as Dolphin for the GameCube and Wii, Simu for Wii U, and Yuzu for the Switch. Initially, users should install the necessary redistributable files recommended by the manufacturer to ensure the front-end Launchbox operates correctly. These can be installed from the drive provided or sourced online. I highly recommend reading through the included instruction files, as it covers hardware minimums and essential tips such as remapping the drive to ensure your PS1 games operate correctly. This part is a bit quirky, but just follow the instructions and everything should work just fine. Any modern laptop or desktop with 8 to 16 gigs of RAM and a decent GPU should be sufficient enough to run any ROMs on here. Higher hardware requirements apply only for the more modern consoles such as the PS4 and Switch. To get started, all you need to do is plug the USB into a free port on your PC, and you should see the drive pop up. To launch the front end, you need to go to the launchbox.exe folder and double-click the Launchbox file. After some initial setup, the front end should launch. So I took a look at what games have been provided in this collection, and it's not bad. This is a solid foundation that you can build on. There are few noticeable missing ROMs from all the platforms that are provided on here. And the keen observer may notice that there's a lack of any arcade, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, TurboGrafx 16, Master System, PSP, and Game Gear games. That is a bit of a disappointment, but what this collection lacks in some of these platforms, it makes up for with a decent PS1, N64, GameCube, and PS2 collection. I'm not going to comment too much on the emulation performance here. because unlike many of the retro handhelds I own and have reviewed, the performance and playability of these emulators and games is largely dependent on your own hardware. And my experience on my nicely spec'd out video editing rig will be vastly different to your old laptop from 2013. However, if you have a decent system with a modern graphics card, then your performance in any of the advertised systems will be pretty good, as all the emulators have been set up and configured well and work as advertised. So if you're new to emulation and would like to get a jump start on a decent retro collection, then I would recommend checking the Hyperbase Launchbox Lite out. If you factor in the hours saved configuring a setup like this yourself, this is already enough to justify the cost. Throw in a decent hard drive you're getting here, as well as the hours saved finding, creating, configuring, and setting up all of this, and there is enough value here to justify the purchase. The biggest negative here is that many amazing systems such as arcade, PSP, and GBA games are not included in this collection, but honestly, this isn't a deal breaker as there is enough free space on the drive to grow your collection. The other negative here is that the drive contains a lot of PC games which take up a bunch of space, and that space could have been used for more retro games. And that's it. Thanks for watching. If you like what I do here, please let the algorithm know by liking and subscribing. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.